Well, we're all right. Well, let's listen. Let's calm it down. Can I step out, sir?
Yeah, please.
All right. Well, come on.
I didn't come out with an attitude. I was very pleasant. I said, hey,
What's
going on?
All right.
Whose car is this?
So you
Okay.
have red and blue lights flashing?
I understand. They weren't flashing. They were.
Right.
It was on steady burn. There was the outside, just steady burns were on. A red one and a blue one. There was a quick picture taken, and they went right back off. Like I said, there was no intent on trying to pull anybody over. The car wasn't in motion. We weren't on a public street. I understand.
Watch this carefully. Officers roll up and immediately try to ID an entire family over a car with red and blue lights flashing for a quick photo. Sounds minor, right? Here's the problem. When police start fishing for names without clearly articulating a crime, that's a Fourth Amendment issue. And that matters because detention needs reasons, not vibes. So what exactly did they claim happened here?
And this is a public.
You don't have to.
Okay, I'm just trying to explain,
I understand.
sir. I'm trying to. You guys come in. I'm just trying to talk to you guys.
Rationalize
I'm trying.
something that doesn't need
No,
to
we're
I'm
not.
trying-
We're trying to explain to you.
Okay, but there's. Okay, I'm trying.
So then,
I'm just.
well, then
Listen.
quiet so he can.
Can I speak? I mean, I'm just trying to have a cordial conversation. My demeanor is fine. I'm not having an attitude with you guys at all.
Right.
I respect what you do. Okay, I completely respect that.
Yeah.
However, I'm just asking for a little bit of reasoning for why. I'm trying to explain to you that. Okay, it wasn't. Again, I'm just saying that there wasn't an intent to pull anybody over or to do anything like that.
Right.
It wasn't like we were in motion. I understand what you're saying. And he's a young kid. He wanted to take a picture of the car with it like that. Okay. Generally, it's set up for private car shows, and that's what it is.
But that right there is the difference. Private property.
I understand that, and that's why it was a quick on and off. It was just one quick shot, you know.
It could also be a warning, but in that has to give the license. You can't go no.
Okay.
It's like a traffic stop.
I understand, and that's why I stepped out to talk to you guys to kind of de-escalate things. See how I'm talking to you?
You're not de-escalating anything. You're just adding to it. Okay.
How am I adding to it, sir? What's your okay name, badge number?
Sheldon Ertmeister, badge 534.
Name, badge
Are you
number?
involved? Is this your car?
Why does it matter?
Is this your car?
I have a First Amendment right to talk.
Sure. Yeah. You
Okay.
also have the right to let him do his business. Okay. If he's talking to him,
all I'm going to do is
That's-
I'm going to take down his name for my report,
Okay.
so that if we get a report later on,
That's
somebody's
perfectly
trying
fine.
to pull somebody
But
over.
can you guys please listen?
Yeah.
I understand your job. Okay.
Are you dad? Are you family? Are you involved?
Why?
Because right now he's trying to conduct.
Right out of the gate, I witnessed him committing a crime. I'm asking for identification. That's a serious statement. If you witnessed a crime, articulate it, but listen closely. There's no clear explanation of what statute was violated. That's a red flag, because in America, an ID demand during detention requires reasonable suspicion. This is how innocent people get jammed up. So what crime are we talking about?
I understand that.
I'm just
Okay.
trying to talk to this guy.
Okay.
Are you related to him somehow?
Just
or-
carry about with him.
All right. Fair enough. So I'm going to need your driver's
So-
license, partner.
At the end of the
Can
day,
you step back, give me some space,
Driver's
please?
license?
Step back and give me some space, please.
You don't have a
Step
driver's
back and give me some space, please. That's fine. I'm going to step back then. You're invading my personal. In fact, move away from my car with your gun, please.
Okay, can I see your
Move away
driver's
from my car with your gun, please.
I can't. I'll give you my name.
I'm
but
trying to
you're not
talk
getting
to
my
you.
license. No.
So the reason
We're
for
gonna do
this,
this way.
I understand your reasoning. You don't have to cop-explain this to me. Okay, you're shaking. Why are you shaking?
That's great. All right, let's start with that.
Your hand was shaking on your mag clip.
on my mag clip.
Yes.
Okay.
Your little mag holder right there. You're still shaking right
What's your
there.
name,
Your
partner?
hands are shaking, guy. Calm down, dude.
I'm calm
Then why are you shaking?
because I'm trying to explain this to you.
Then you can calm down. I'm not being confrontational at all. My name.
My name's Sheldon.
Okay, that's great. My name is Good Citizen, and I'm talking to you.
Now it escalates. The officer pivots, asking family members if they're involved and demanding a driver's license. Here's the issue. Being related isn't a crime, and unless they can articulate reasonable suspicion that she operated the vehicle illegally, demanding ID becomes constitutionally shaky. A request isn't an order. That distinction matters. This feels like pressure, not procedure. So where's the actual evidence?
In a calm manner, and I don't need you to be shaking while you're talking to me. Okay, we can talk normal.
We can talk normal.
That's fine.
We can talk normal.
That's perfectly fine.
But at the end of the day, this is just a minor thing. It doesn't
I
have
get
to
it.
be-
I get it. So that's why I was trying. You guys came in real hot. I understand your job.
What's your name, man?
He might have. I don't know. I didn't.
Okay, you came in a little heated towards the whole situation. I'm allowed to talk. Yes, he is my
Driving the
son.
vehicle with red
Okay,
lights on
I
it?
wear a badge and a gun belt
First of all,
myself.
we weren't driving
Okay,
with
so
them on, so you
I
guys
understand
can
what
get
you're
that
doing,
out of your
and I
system.
understand. That's why I said turn them on real
The
quick
car
for a
was
photo and
fucking
turn them right
parked.
back off.
Which I have
It might have been a dumb idea.
said you drove
okay,
this vehicle.
a little here.
yeah, I understand.
So you
that.
understand the
I,
big
under,
thing
I
is,
understand.
if you're on private property,
I know, and that's why I said the normal when we go to car meets, it's completely private.
And I
You don't need to give
what's your
name.
date of birth?
He said I need to because
No, you
I drove
don't.
the car here.
No, we're
Hang on,
done.
man.
We're done.
I'm not
We're done with
talking
that.
to
You haven't committed a crime. There's no need to
Right,
ID
that's why I
yourself.
said.
I just said let them fucking do it. They're wasting their fucking time. They're
Okay,
wasting
just calm down. Let him do the warning thing, but you have no part of this.
She does because she just admitted she drove this vehicle. This is a marked police vehicle.
Where is it?
With red
No,
and white
it's not. It
lights.
doesn't say police
Okay.
anywhere.
It doesn't have to.
And in the state of Ohio, the law says it has to
I
have a
looked
police
it up. I
department
looked it
name
up.
on
I
it.
know what I'm
I
doing.
know what the RC
It's
code is on
fine.
it.
I'm not
okay?
Goodbye.
Okay,
Don't
so
commit
but
no
either
crime.
way, can we just de-escalate? Do your thing, guys. I'm done. Okay, we're good. I understand it, dude.
As
So
far as,
Go ahead.
but you understand, so the big difference here, private
gotta
versus
do.
public
and
property, with you being on
like I
public
said, we
property.
always do this
I don't
on
know why
private
it's so
properties, the car shows, because it's just walk away. Just walk away.
Yeah, that's probably a good idea.
Just walk. Just go sit in the car, honey, please.
I
Okay,
support the
so-
private property.
Have fun.
I think
And
having
again-
it as a show car is a cool thing. I
Yeah,
don't
and that's
disagree with that
all it is, man.
whatsoever.
It's a cool thing to do for the car shows. You know what I mean?
But
And we 99.99999% time have always done it on private property. There's never been an incident ever before. Like I said, he wanted a cool picture down here. It was real quick, turn them on, turn them off. And again, I figured, hey, we're in a pretty location right down here. There's no other civilians around. Nobody's going to think he's a cop. They're
I don't
with the
think they
show.
all-
They're with the
Yeah, I
show.
understand.
They understand he's not, okay, we're pretty big into the scene.
No, and I
So
don't
it's a
have an
good,
issue with it,
wholesome family thing to
really.
do. Like I said, we generally never turn them on at all because he knows, because I know what the laws are.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you-
and I
but
understand.
It's just the private property versus, and that's
And I
all
totally
this had to
get it.
be is, hey, let me
I
get your
understand.
info,
I understand.
pick a
that.
warning, and we're
But
on our way.
There's, you know, I totally get that. There's a way to communicate with the citizens without coming on so strong. Okay. I deal with it a lot. Okay. I work with DOC. I work with a lot of different departments in the area. Okay. So I understand, but when I come into a situation, I try to get the information before I start coming on strong. And if I need to, then that's where we go to. Okay. But that's why I said de-escalate
when I
a little
walk
bit. Well,
into the-
I know, but he came in really hot. That's why I said,
I
man,
don't know how he
de-escalate
did.
and calm down. I know, and I didn't record it, unfortunately. But you know,
He did. He's got body
I know,
cam,
and
he's
that's
got
why I say he's got
camera.
body cam. I can FOIA it if I have to.
Yeah, absolutely.
But you know, and in fact, I should have my body cam on right now, but I don't. So it is what it is. So again, it's usually a private property thing, and I understand. So I get where you
That
guys are
being the
coming
big
from.
difference.
I totally get where you guys are coming from. So that's why I'm trying to talk to you calm. And you were shaking a little bit there, so that was kind of worrying me. You know what I mean? You step up on me and you're shaking.
Well, I was trying to hear what you're saying,
Okay,
because you're kind of a
I'm
little bit
talking
quiet.
calm because I want you guys to calm down. That's how you de-escalate. When somebody's getting heated, you try to calm them down, which is what I was doing.
No,
And
that's fine.
now we're talking calm, right? You're not shaking anymore.
Well, I also wasn't sure what was going to go on there because
I understand. You come onto a scene and you don't know what's going on. I
The
get
reason I
that.
stepped
But there's
in
no
is
need to
'cause,
come
like,
into the
you're-
scene hot.
and I didn't. I came.
You came in
a lot
warm.
less
You came in warm.
I came in
I'll give
warm,
it.
but
Okay.
when I came in,
okay.
I
So
hear
we're agreeing on that.
arguing
It wasn't necessarily arguing. Arguing is loud voices. It was him
An
trying to
argument can
demand
happen.
certain things.
An argument can happen with less loud voices.
I can
You
understand.
can't
I can understand that. But at the same time, when you guys come on to something as a backup officer, you don't know what's going on. Okay, I completely understand that. Okay, but when it comes down to it, you guys got to be a little bit better when you come into the citizenry thing. Like trying to get her ID. He didn't witness her drive this car. I could say I drove that car. She could say he drove that car. Anybody could say that. You guys didn't witness that. There was no reasonable articulable suspicion that she needed to give an ID. That's a violation of the Fourth Amendment. Okay,
And I don't
I'm very
disagree with
strong on my civil rights. I'm very strong on other people's civil rights. There's a lot of police officers that are really good. So far, I'm giving you a B plus because you were a little bit hot. Like I said, warm. We'll call it warm. You're a little warm, and you were shaking there, which was kind of freaking me out because when I see a guy with a gun shaking, it kind of freaks me out. I'm not saying you would pull it. The hood's still over it, so we're good. You know what I mean? But you guys got to approach people.
Quick recap. The car wasn't moving. Keys reportedly not engaged. Lights flashed briefly for a photo. Under the Fourth Amendment, detention requires specific, articulable facts of a crime, not hypotheticals. The father even points it out. No one witnessed her drive. That's solid street-level law. If officers can't tie conduct to a statute, it's just suspicion fishing. And fishing expeditions? Courts don't love those. So what happens next?
Well, with a little bit calmer manner, and you would get a lot better result from a lot more people. I'm telling you that.
I
It
get
works for
pretty good
me.
results from
I can
most
tell
people.
that. I can tell you're pretty cool right now, okay? You got the Oakley glasses on, you chilling, all right? You know what I mean? I'm cool with that.
Yeah.
All right? But, again, it's the way when you guys approach the scene, okay? If there's a lot of people around, I get that. You don't know what's going on, but you got to come in a little cooler. That's all I'm trying to get at, man. Education, not confrontation. You know what I'm saying?
And I don't disagree. I don't know, again, what happened with him once he got here. All I know is I pulled up, he was arguing. Disagreements.
There might that's better
We'll call
word
it
for
disagreements.
it. Wordage, you got wording is everything. So there was a little bit of a disagreement maybe on what was going on. Okay. And again, I was trying to simply explain to the officer, because I respect you guys. Hey, I understand you saw whatever you saw. I don't know what he saw because I wasn't him. But I've been here since he got here. We came together. The lights went on for a couple of seconds. A couple people took pictures of it real quick, and it got shut right back off. That was it. There was no foul play. There was no ill intent. There was no popping. It's cool.
I don't understand why people like that. To be honest.
It's a certain tune on the car. I don't know.
I don't get that. I feel like that's just
A little bit excessive is sometimes.
Annoying.
But it can be.
I just call it annoying. I couldn't imagine driving.
I remember. I mean, I don't know how old you are. You're probably a little younger than me, but the old little Tykes things when you push them, and a little pop.
Yeah.
That's what I think of every time I hear one of them things popping by. But anyway, back to the subject at hand here. I understand it's illegal to run them on public street. I completely get that. Impersonating the officer, I understand how that all works.
I never said impersonating the officer.
He did.
I did
when
not
he
do
first
that.
rolled in, he said, "I got your I want your ID because you were illegally doing the whole police officer thing." He doesn't have any logos on the car from any police department. That's part of the law. In
No,
order for it to
I'm
be
not-
a marked vehicle like he said it was,
I'm
his
not in
wording
disagreement or-
said. So that's why
That's fine.
that's why I say you got to have your facts. You got to know your rights. You know what I mean? You got to know our rights and all that stuff. You guys have the right to ask certain questions. I get that. We have the right to not answer certain questions. To Fifth Amendment, I don't have to say shit that's going to incriminate myself. Were you driving that car? I can stay silent. You guys have to do the investigation. So in order for them to say he drove that car here, unless he admitted it, which he probably shouldn't have, because if I was involved with trying to block him from incriminating himself,
Yeah. He's
then
also the registered owner.
but anybody can drive a car. Anybody can flip a light switch. So unless somebody witnessed that happen, or you guys have physical proof that that happened, which is reasonable articulable suspicion, then you can get the IDs. I understand that. Okay? So that's what I'm trying to get at. We have rights. Citizens have rights. Police officers have a certain duty to do, but there's that line. Once you go over that line, you have crossed the line of now that puts a bad taste in my mouth about this particular officer. And once that keeps building up in people's minds, that's where that disconnect between law enforcement and citizenry happens. So again, I'm about education, not confrontation. I don't want to sit here and argue with police or having like this guy. He came in really hot. I mean, I can tell he gray hair like me. He probably been on the force for a while. He dealt with some dumb shit, I'm sure. We're not doing dumb shit. You know what I mean? It's all innocent fun. It was in good faith. There was nobody trying to pull anybody over. Nobody saying, "Hey, get on the ground, motherfucker."
Well,
it wasn't anything like that. That would
I'm not
be.
looking that route.
And I understand. I mean,
I'm gonna get a lawyer
well, I'm
because this isn't the only ones that have targeted him.
Well-
CPD and all the other ones have told him, even if it's not private
Right.
property or not, he's allowed to have his lights on because it's a car show and it's for the kids, as long
Well,
as the car is not moving.
right,
As
but
long as it's
there's
sitting
certain
still, they're
gray
allowed to be
areas.
on.
There's certain gray areas in the law with
There's
So
that.
gray
we have
areas on
different
the-
people telling us, different departments telling us different shit. So I'm just going to get a lawyer
And
because
that's-
people are targeting my son.
Well,
with this
it's-
car.
I wouldn't say it's targeting your son. It's more geared towards the car and the red and blues on the car.
But you guys can look at it
And it's not illegal
to.
it's not illegal to have an out of service police car.
Correct.
As long as it's not got any police department names on it and stuff like that. So and again,
Which
it's,
honestly, actually, on that end, I
and
don't
it's,
know if that's entirely.
what was
I
that?
don't even know if that's entirely like having the police.
It can even say police on it,
I
as long
think-
as it doesn't
yeah.
have a department
Yeah.
or a law enforcement agency's name on it, or
Badge
insignia,
or
or
insignias,
insignias.
yeah.
So I looked up the laws on it. Very, very. In fact, I got the ORC code on my phone. I sent it to him just so we can have it in case this shit ever happened. And there is very gray areas in that impersonation with the lights and the blue lights and the red lights and amber lights to the front
There's
with
vehicle
white, amber lights and
restrictions
red to
with
the
the
back.
colors,
Yeah,
and that's
I understand all those restrictions. You're not allowed to have clear and amber to the front. You're not allowed to have red and clear and amber to the back. One license plate light, illuminating license plate has to be white in color. We went through the whole ORC code. I went through it in fine depth and detail. So again, I am all about education. I want to educate myself so that when I know that something's happening, I know I have my facts.
Are you, is it red on one side, blue on the other?
I don't know, honestly.
So what I would, personal advice is if you make it red all the way across.
You guys got something going on up there. Might be more important than this. See, he's got whites, but that's a takedown lights. But yeah, you got to pull the fuse off of that right in front of it. But anyway, your question.
Well,
or
so
your
what I was
statement, I'm
saying
sorry.
is if you went with red, if you're
Right,
like
all
doing
red,
like the,
right.
well, not necessarily all red. You don't have to switch to all red, but if you're doing like the corner lights,
like
it's
scene
like
lighting,
the cruise lights and the
right.
scene lighting, if you did that in all red, I think you'd have a little bit less issue.
Right,
Because
right.
there's a lot more leeway on the red
Right,
lighting
yeah.
versus the
Volunteer
blue lighting is-
firefighters, and there's a whole bunch of other people. And the Popo's the only ones that run the blue. So
Exactly.
right.
But I mean, it's even past the volunteer
Watch
firefighters.
that gun, man. Sorry.
It's even past the volunteer firefighters. I mean, if you look
Right.
at like the city of Columbus, they have their work trucks that are running the red lights. You have, tow trucks have
Yep.
red lights on the light
Yep,
bar,
amber and
with the
red.
brake lights. I think you'd run into less issues. with
Less
that.
issues
So I don't
with-
know how often
right.
you're running into issues with.
Not
this.
really, because like I said, it's always on private property. When we do the car shows, it's we go to farms and rent out farms. You go to private property, rent out the properties, and have this is really absolutely nothing. We go to car shows where there's hundreds to thousands of cars, and it's all on private property. So, and again, it's one time, quick picture shots, real quick, and that was all it was, man. So no hard feelings towards you guys,
I
none of
don't-
that.
Yeah, and I'm not saying that, I don't say there's ill intent in that.
Right.
Dude, trust me, I get it. I'm a
Right.
car guy. I love cars.
Right, and it's just a cool thing.
It's just one of those.
And
you
I
gotta be
understand you
careful
get
with the
right,
location,
and that's why I was like, you know what, fuck it. There isn't a lot of people around. We're not on the road. Do it real quick. And I guess it's my fault. I mean, as his father, I probably shouldn't have said that. But
You know what?
it
But
is
again,
what it is.
being a car guy, I get it. I'm not.
And honestly, my vest is in the back. I wear the same uniform every day, all day long. So I understand what you guys are doing. I respect you guys 100%. I'm not a police officer, but I deal with DOC. I deal with a lot of other fun stuff too. So, but I've gone through the whole police academy. I know my rights. I did the whole civil rights, law enforcement, law, and all that crap. So,
Out of curiosity,
anyway.
you said you went through the police academy. Why not get in? It's a good
Because I
job.
don't, I make more money.
That's fair.
I work government contracts, man. I work government contracts, and if I see something, I don't have to get involved.
That's fair.
So, I mean, I don't have the pension and all that fun stuff you guys have, and qualified immunity and all that good jazz, but,
With the government contracting, though, I mean, if you make
It's
enough,
money.
you can put the money away.
Yeah, it's money.
You
I mean,
more or less have the pension.
if I was working city, small city cops, I'm right there with them. So, and again, I don't have to get involved with anything. I get nights and weekends off, work Monday through Friday, no holidays. Federal contracts are good pay.
Doing federal contracts?
Federal contracts. So that's what I say. I work with DOC, I work with federal prisoners and all kinds of different fun stuff. So I deal with murderers and rapists and all that shit, just like you guys do, just while they're
You know, like
caged up.
transports or?
Oh, no. I deal with mental and drug problem for the most part. Those are the guys I deal with. So just keeping them under control, basically.
That's fair.
So, and again, I understand you guys got a job to do, but there's that boundary where, again, the citizens of the United States have kind of got a disconnect. As you see, there's a lot of anti-police people out there. You can't disagree with that, right?
No.
So, and I get it. People look at me and instantly think I'm a cop. I got a badge, I got a gun, and the vest and all that shit. And if I'm out, on my way in or out of work or whatever, people are instantly like, oh, I got the fucking cop. I get the attitude. I get people talking shit to me. I get it. You know what I mean? So, but at the same time, we've got to have a little bit better approach to people, I think, especially with Officer, I'll just call, I don't know what his name is, but he never identified himself. So,
Prosecutor hasn't called me back or anything, but here's what I recommend to you. And if you're going to use this vehicle for show vehicles or for car shows or whatever, totally fine. But the way the law is written is that it says a vehicle cannot be operated unless it's done so by a sworn law enforcement officer, somebody with the task of enforcing traffic laws, to drive or operate a vehicle that is equipped with red and blue flashing lights.
can you define what operate is in the ORC code?
Yeah, it means drive.
And he wasn't driving the car.
No, I just...
And the car wasn't running.
If I finish talking to him, since
I
I
would-
really don't have anything to do with this right now.
What was your name again, sir?
My name is Detective Carl Roberts. 529 is my badge number.
Okay.
And what's your name?
I don't have to give that to you, sir.
Okay, so then I don't really need to interact with
That's
you.
fine. Have a
My
good day.
point being, and what before I was so rudely interrupted.
Didn't rudely interrupt you, sir.
did,
Okay.
and-
Here's the pivot. A detective admits there are gray areas in the law, then warns, you might beat the rap, but you won't beat the ride. That's not legal clarity, that's leverage. Big difference. Threatening arrest without clear probable cause is how compliance gets manufactured. And that matters, because rights aren't supposed to depend on officer mood. So is this about safety or control?
Continue.
So
Just
here's
calm
what I'm
down,
telling
bud. Calm down, man. He's an asshole.
Here's what I'm telling you.
I mean,
This car needs to be. Somebody could actually pull you over and probably arrest you very successfully, and you might beat the rap, but you won't beat the ride.
so he's a detective.
Driving this around.
Wow.
Driving
That's
this
scary,
around.
man.
Right.
As it.
The way he talks to people.
I'm not talking to you. Continue. I'm talking to this guy because he needs to.
He's a
So
lot
Finish
all
up
I'm
and
saying,
be
all I'm saying is, man, you
dismissed.
got to be careful with this because
Who's his
somebody might not
supervisor?
be as nice.
Can you tell me who his supervisor is?
His supervisor,
I understand.
Because I want to get that
I'm not
camera.
entirely sure who you want to call on that one. We have the
Who's whatever you guys got? Watch, command watch, or lieutenant?
I would call our lieutenant, but he's only here.
All Perry Townships
What's his
gonna
last
do
name?
is fucking
Tonkel.
harass
He's only
you.
here
So we got
Monday
these-
through
I'm not going to harass
Friday.
anybody. I don't. Very
All right.
rarely.
Well, and honestly, I mean, what put me into a bad mood with Perry Township, and I'll get real with you.
Have a great night.
All right, we're good. He should be doing a job. The citizens are paying him out of my taxes. But Perry Township, this has probably been 20-something years ago. I got pulled over for looking at a cop out the window of my car. This is back when you guys were running around. Right? So probably like 20, not even 2020-ish. But anyway, I got pulled over. This guy was screaming and yelling in my face. You got a fucking problem with the way I drive my car, motherfucker? That really put me off. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if Pendleton's still with you guys or not. I was, like I said, 20 years ago probably, so Pendleton's probably long retired by now. So
It's
Pendleton? Yeah.
It ain't fitting on
Yeah, so I talked with that guy. You know, like I said, I've got respect for you guys. When you guys give the citizens respect, you're cool, right? You're cool with me right now. You know, you're chilling, you got your arm in your vest now, you're not shaking anymore. We're cool. You know what I mean? I understand. You come into a situation, the adrenaline starts dumping and shit like that, but this dude's got to calm down, man. If he needs to be a detective, they got to take him off the street. They got to take him off the street. For real, man. I mean, that's...
So what I would do is, if you guys have a complaint,
I do.
call into our,
I do.
Call into the police department. I'll give you a business card.
Yeah, that'd be great. If he's got one, I need one of his too, but I don't want to ask him. If you could get one of his for me, that'd be great.
You got a
In the end, no charges, no arrest, just advice and business cards. That tells you something. If this were airtight, it wouldn't dissolve into suggestions about changing light colors. When enforcement collapses into maybe and gray areas, that's weak probable cause. If this were me, I'd consider a records request and supervisor review. Know the difference between a request and an order. Like, subscribe, credit the original uploader. This video provides transformative commentary and legal analysis of publicly available police audit footage for education, critique, and accountability under fair use. 17 U.S.C. Section 107.
business card?
Yeah, of course.
That's mine.
Cool.
You need to be a detective.
All right, yeah, man, you're cool. I don't know, what's your rank? You just a patrolman?
I'm just a patrol officer.
That's cool.
But it is a weird situation.
I understand.
And it's definitely, it is tiptoeing the gray line.
And
So,
that's why I was trying to come out and de-escalate, man, and just get him to calm down and listen for like 2 seconds like you have. You know what I'm saying? Like, if he hadn't shown up and it was me and you, this would have gone a whole different way, man. I honestly believe that. He's just got to calm down. He got the military haircut. Dude, he's not like, you know, we're just citizens, man. We're not criminals. You know,
it's a traffic thing. It's not even a.
but it's not really even a pullover. I mean, it wasn't really even a traffic stop to be technical. He wasn't in the car wasn't moving, keys were in ignition, and all that. So, I mean, it is what it is. But
And I don't know what the specific section with the red and blue lights is. I don't know if it's an operate or just.
Right.
Bottom line, red and blue lights may raise suspicion, but suspicion alone isn't a lawful detention. The Constitution doesn't bend for convenience, and when officers admit they're unsure about the law while still threatening arrest, that's the moment citizens must know their rights cold. Education beats escalation. So here's the question. Would you file a complaint first or FOIA the body cam?
Period equipment thing. I couldn't tell you, to be honest.
I've read into it. Like I said, I pulled the ORC code when we were setting it up for the car shows and everything. But you know, it is what it is. Like I said, it's just a matter of how people approach other people, and that was all. So you guys are dismissed.
Are you good?
Yeah, I'm good. I got
All right.
my info card done.
All right, buckle and bounce.
You got a business card?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we never got that, did we? I asked him to ask you. You don't have a
Can I have
good.
one of yours?
Yeah. Why are you shaking, man?
Who's shaking?
You are.
I seen it.
You're shaking and he was shaking, dude.
For real, bro.
All right.
I'm old. I got
All
toes.
right.
I don't know.
Yeah, me too. All right, you guys are dismissed. We're good.